After being imprisoned by my first love, I couldn't bear the humiliation and committed suicide. After I died, I opened my third eye. I saw the misunderstandings we had accumulated over the years and the love we didn't have time to express. Rebirth. I'm being held down by my first love. Ambiguous atmosphere. He was confused and left. I wish I could eat you. I hold my indigestion stomach. No change in expression. Then you are blessed. Now is the perfect time to eat some soft-boiled food. Because I'm getting thin. He was stunned when he heard this. I smile brightly. This time. I must say I love you. In the dark room. A beautiful place. I have red spots on my body. Deep bite marks. Everywhere shows the joy that just happened here. I haven't seen the sun for a long time. This is the countless number of days and nights. My first love with brother Mark. We have been childhood sweethearts. Young love. But his father betrayed Mark's brother's father for money. The building is about to collapse. Enyuan. From then on, Mark was docile and submissive. In fact, he killed people without blood, and he was black and white. Hidden in the dark, he became a powerful business tycoon and gangster boss on Wall Street. Then they imprisoned me and tortured me in various ways. I can't accept such a big contrast from him. What makes you think I would fall in love with my enemy's daughter? Just playing with you. Are you serious? This kind of conversation is repeated over and over again. Like a knife stabbing into my heart. The lovers who were once so gentle are now cautious in every step. And it's letting the wolf in. I was there when he was down. Give him your father's supplementary card for circulation. Unexpectedly. This money turned out to be his initial fund to become a business tycoon. He used my love and sympathy to grow. Eventually sent my father to prison. My mother also died of a sudden illness. Overnight. I went from being the little princess of City A to being his captive bird. I was a young girl who was naive and was violently vented by him in drunkenness. I don't know how long it took. The dark door opened. Against the light. I saw my former lover, my first love, Mark, looking down at me. He coldly threw a box of emergency medicine at my feet. Have eaten. You don't deserve my child. I can't count how many times. I've become immune to these words. Numbly picking up the medicine on the ground. Open and eat raw. He suddenly squatted down. I pinch my chin in anger. Damn, just like your damn dad. Stop putting on this pitiful look. It's disgusting. I am speechless. I don't know when my throat became so sore that I couldn't make any sound. I heard the most familiar stranger beside me raging. My silence seemed to irritate him. I looked at the bulging veins. Angry face, but my thoughts are far away. I think of my youth. Mark was patient and gentle as he carefully caught butterflies for me in the garden. Thinking of how he stood up for me when my female classmates were jealous and spread rumors that I was being kept by someone. It turns out that the deep love of youth can really lead to the end of mutual disgust. The storm came to an abrupt end with the sound of his door slamming. In my hand I hide the hard plastic wrapping paper from when I opened the medicine. 2 years. I tried to commit suicide many times. He's been staring at me dead. This time. I irritated him. He should be drinking. I have plenty of free time. Blood dripping. Consciousness gradually fades away. I feel like I am becoming transparent. Finally, I can get out of this dark room. I heard a scream. It seems my body has been found. I saw drunk Mark hugging me. The villa was in chaos. These have nothing to do with me anymore. I walked out. It's a hot summer day outside. The sun should have been scorching hot, but I didn't feel it at all. This is what death feels like. No sadness, no joy, no cold, no heat. You shouldn't die. Behind the dark road. Looking back is a green lawn. Don't look for me anymore. You can't see mine. It's time for you to see some of the truth you thought you knew. The screen starts to change. Back to my 22nd birthday. This day. This is when my life started to fall into darkness. I close my eyes. Some don't want to watch anymore. The girls gathered in the banquet hall were full of happiness. Father and mother are around. Looking lovingly at their little princess. Suddenly the police came in. My father was relieved when he saw this. Tell me frankly. Daughter. You are an adult. Take care of your mother. She is in poor health. See here. My heart aches. Sorry, father. I didn't do it. I was too immature at that time. I just burst into tears and fainted from being immersed in my own emotions. He didn't notice that his mother beside him had collapsed due to a heart attack. I know when I regain consciousness. My mother has passed away. All I see is an empty, cold tombstone. However, I saw the truth. Mark rushed to the banquet hall with his bodyguards. Evacuated the crowd. Take my mother to the hospital. I saw my mother wake up from her bed. The huge shock caused her to lose some of her memory. Only muttering to myself. Often in a daze. Mark often comes to visit my mother. I saw him holding his mother's hand and wiping away tears. Aunt. Sorry. I just want some justice for my father. Inevitably hurt you and Nancy. I have fired the person who brought the police here. I was on a business trip at the time. I originally wanted to wait until Nancy's birthday was over before following the legal procedures. I was shocked. My mother didn't die. It turns out he's not as heartless as I thought. I remember I woke up. I feel resentment when I see Mark. I thought at first that he had killed my father. Set up a trap to frame him. Spent 2 days and 2 nights in Mark's villa. Too arrogant then. I thought he would love me unconditionally and tolerate me, but I didn't see his eyes turn colder and colder. The joints of my body turned blue when I picked up the vase. When I was a week later, I broke the bowl again. Question him. What did you do to my mother? He said he was dead. Your father fell ill and died on the day of the accident. After saying, took me to see the tombstone. Why did he lie to me? I choked up. Avoid enemies. After your father's fall, many enemies came to seek revenge. It's best to release the news of your mother's death. That locked me in his villa. Is it the same reason why you don't let me go out? That's right. I laughed at myself mockingly. My hate. There is less basis. He protected his mother very well. The screen then changes. Time goes back to 17 years old. At that time, Mark's family has been down for 5 years. Mark is busy every day. Busy studying. Busy working. Busy starting a business. This is also the year I let the wolf in. I wore my school uniform and went to a cafe near the school with my sisters to have afternoon tea. Once inside, my best friend pulled me and pointed. Is that the higher level Mark? Your brother Mark. How did he get criticized like this? I looked up and happened to see him with his head down being harassed by a customer. The middle-aged woman was trying to put her fat hands on Mark's shoulders. I walked forward angrily, picked up a glass of water and poured it on the guest. Then he took out a wad of money from his wallet and threw it at the old woman. Compensate you for your money. Get your disgusting fat hands off me. Get out of here. Then he pulled Mark out. Street corner. I carefully handed Mark a card. Mark. You don't need to work anymore. I don't want to see you being groped by a bad woman. What's more, she's a fat and greasy old woman. This is the supplementary card my father gave me. There's not a lot of money in it. I just feel sorry for you. I was racking my brains to figure out how to convince him to accept the card while still maintaining his self-esteem. He took the card. I was so stupid. I never thought about it in the past 5 years. He won't even accept 100 yuan from me. How come there's a sudden change of gender? The scene shifts to Wall Street People's Hospital. There are 4 families crammed into the crowded ward. The old man in the corner is very familiar to me. Mark paid the fee with the supplementary card. Holding Grandpa's hand, he comforted me and said the operation would be successful. Too much has been borne on my young shoulders. After he gets your supplementary card. Only did one thing. Just to treat his grandfather. Grandpa Mark still went. Right. I recall that I came home from school not long after. I met Mark with bloodshot eyes at the door of the villa. I couldn't calm down for a long time. It turns out that he worked so hard. It turns out that he did not forget me when he was seeking revenge. And many more. For example, when you were 18, you received an anonymous gift, a Losky bracelet that Mark carefully selected for you after working for 2 months. But you thought it was a birthday gift from the brand and gave it to the servant. He also discovered this. The beginning of your imprisonment by him. Contacted others several times to plan escape. He misunderstood these things and thought you had changed your mind and were ready to elope. That voice I couldn't tell where it came from kept saying. The scene in front of my eyes changed again and again. Mark and I are so alike. I thought I loved each other in my own way. But the misunderstanding is gradually expanded. It has come to this point. The mysterious voice finally said. You two are not destined to die. After saying. I fell into darkness. When you are conscious. I woke up from the 5-meter-long bed that Mark prepared for me. Next to me is Jane, the daughter of Jane, who grew up with me. This should be when I was imprisoned by him for half a year. The sudden changes in my family made me emotionally unstable for a long time. He forced me after drinking. My mood is even more broken. Finally, after a big fight, he asked Jane to accompany me and comfort me. I want to eat bird's nest. Previous life. I haven't eaten for a long time. Hunger strike every day. But I know so many truths. Found out that my mother was not dead. He's not as cruel as I thought. Good mood. My appetite has improved a lot. After eating the 20th bird's nest, I wiped my mouth and lay down under Jane's shocked eyes. Contentment. At this time, Jane finally couldn't help but said quietly, "Studies have shown that it is recommended to consume about 35 grams of bird's nest each time. Miss. The 6G you just had. 20 is almost enough for 40 days. Be careful not to get angry. I don't listen to the research that shows. I'm hungry." I grinned at her. "Are you still the lady I know who has very high requirements for body shape?" Jane ruthlessly complains. After all, only when you are full can you have the energy to start over. Turning the tide. Not to mention, I'm really hungry now. In a dark room. The dark suit was torn to pieces. Beautiful phoenix eyes flickering. With a nonchalant look of teasing. In the ambiguous light and shadow. Mark held me down. Holding the chin and playing. The fingertips are cool and hot. Mark looks like he's drunk again. Will you need it again next time? I suddenly looked at the man in front of me with amusement. In fact, every time he loses his mind and forces me. All very gentle. It's just that I was deeply humiliated by various misunderstandings at that time. When he was apologetic. Said a lot of bullshit. We are getting farther and farther. His anger is getting worse. This life. I want him to love me deeply. I also want him and I to completely heal each other. I curled my lips. Kissed gently. He felt my response. My body is stiff. The response was more intense. After all, he is my brother Mark, whom I have been thinking about since I was a young girl. He has dealt with the hatred of the previous generation very well. He just filed a case against my father according to normal procedures. His father owed him. As I embraced his kiss. However, after I ate 20 bowls of bird's nest and overconsumed high protein. Untimely stomach churning. Bad Jane. I didn't tell you that I would have indigestion if I ate too much. It is also easy to discharge messy gases. Mark, with the smell of alcohol on his lips, is still immersed in his rhythm. Because of my response, he became more engaged. The voice is low and the words are spoken slowly. "Nancy. You know what? I have always liked you very much. I have been thinking about it day and night for many years. I wish I could eat you. My heart. Elder brother. You want to eat me now. It's not the right time." I cleared my throat. I have no choice but to say, "Then you are blessed. Now is the perfect time to eat some soft-boiled food." Mark was stunned. The perverted look is even more exciting. Asked playfully. "Nancy. Why do you say that?" "Because I'm a slacker." Mark's expression changed again and again. He fixed himself on me with a little excitement. I seemed to see a hint of excitement on his face. Damn, does he have a fever? Alcohol really does make people stupid. He didn't think I wanted to play doctor-patient role-play with him. Your stomach makes growling sounds. At the same time, the body is completely broken. The gases are rushing out of my body. A desperate sound. Mark smelled a foul odor. The alcohol smell is mostly gone. Surprised, she bounced off the bed. Looked at me for a long time incredulously. I was stared at and felt hairy. Bow and apologize. Report a little. Report a little. I really didn't play any SM role-playing games with you. I'm really, really ill. Let's play again next time. 2 a.m. In front of the Municipal People's Hospital. A luxurious Maybach slowly stopped. The next day, a rumor spread through Wall Street that the president of XX Group and his fugitive wife suddenly appeared in the Municipal People's Hospital late at night. 2 or unmarried pregnancy. SVIP in the ward. I was forced to receive an 4 by 4 or 5 people. In my howling. Mark is leisurely flipping through a magazine. His facial features are clear and deep. Veins bulge under pale skin. He tried his best to restrain his emotions. He was completely sober now. He returned to his usual state of keeping people at a distance. I wiped my tears. Seeing his cold expression. A look of a man who strictly abides by male ethics. I can't help but want to tease. My brother Mark. People feel pain. Blinking innocently, she looked at Mark. Against the light. I saw the light reflected from the man's gold-rimmed glasses flashing. What do you want to do? He closed the book. Speak to me seriously word by word. You weren't like this in bed just now. He's a man with changing moods. Baby. Did you cheat? I bite the words intentionally. 3 pauses in a sentence. Man takes the sword soul. Mark. Otherwise, how could you always get full marks in my heart? I raised my chin. Seize the opportunity. Mark. Call a doctor. 3 minutes later. The doctor in a white coat rushed in. The doctor hasn't spoken yet. Mark took the lead in assigning tasks. Dr. Jack. Anyway. Heal her for me. Stop letting her talk nonsense. Wait until I'm done. Come and check. Good. The doctor nodded and said. Then. Mark's ears turned red visibly. Leaving in a hurry with chaotic and hurried steps. Good. Can't handle it anymore? He started to take the bait. The reason is work. It really fits his personality as a workaholic who has been dormant for many years. That also means. He is a rookie in love. To deal with Xiao Bai, you have to learn from those foxy girls. Thinking of this, I feel more confident about winning. Turning back and looking down, I remembered him trying to escape with his ears uncovered and making up excuses. I can't help but smile. Then the next man. I'm going to give you some extra spice. Jane, you ran out. What are your next steps? Mark is no longer around. How to make feelings warm. Heal each other. Are you stupid? Idol dramas usually have the male lead and the male second role. Introducing a third person is a common tool to warm up the relationship. Otherwise, staying around Mark and talking dirty every day will not work too long. So, where are you going to introduce the third person? I can tell you. It's midnight. I looked around with my teeth bared. Be confident. Based on my many years of experience in reading novels. Mark and I are both male and female protagonists. Generally, the main characters will gather around the male and female protagonists. For example, now. The male and female protagonists are both in the Municipal People's Hospital. I bet you. A third person must pass by within 10 minutes. Miss Jane. You are so confident and humorous ha. 1 hour later. I'm frustrated. Jane kept criticizing me. Suddenly my dim eyes brightened. A black Bugatti Veyron drove into view. I'm proud. Male second is coming. Jane 6. It's really a blind cat meeting a dead mouse. I excitedly rushed to the car number 5 and 9. Plan to stop the car. A gorgeous encounter with my male second. Based on my years of experience in reading romance novels. Must win. Handheld. It should stop. A handsome and elegant man came down. He would look at me anxiously and say, "Oh beautiful lady, are you okay? At worst I'll just get a minor scratch." The second male apologized and sent me to see a doctor. We met again and again. Then I turned the owner of this beautiful car into the second male lead. Let him and Mark kill each other to check the internal competition. Let Mark fall deeply in love with me under the stimulation. I found that my love for me has already penetrated deep into my bones. Then I successfully rewrote our ending to be happy and complete. However, the beautiful car is getting closer and closer to me. The huge shock woke me up from my fantasy. Pain spreads throughout the body. Logically speaking. Come north, I was hit. As the heroine, I was hit. And it hit so hard. The mysterious voice was ashamed. I didn't say you had a golden finger that would make the car stop. It's in the SVIP ward of the Municipal People's Hospital again. I don't know how long it took. I opened my eyes in confusion. I vaguely saw Mark looking upset beside the bed. The doctor in the white coat was still there, wiping his sweat while explaining. Mark, the boss. Sorry. I'm just going to get Ms. Nancy's medicine. Just that moment. She just disappeared. I want to raise my hand to pull Mark. After struggling for a while, he could not muster any strength and slowly dropped down again. The huge pain from inside to outside of my body is tearing my consciousness apart. It hurts so much, I murmured in pain. I feel the heat in my palms. The fine beads of sweat on the forehead were gently wiped away. Jane crawled to my ear and said, "Dear lady. There is good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? I nodded slightly and thought about it. Listen first. The good news is that this car accident, although it looks very painful, I actually asked the doctor. You're all right. Just rest for a month at most. What's the good news? The bad news is that the third person you introduced is still the male lead, Mark. He was on his way back to find you and you rushed out and hit his car. I looked up to the sky and sighed. What a coincidence. Might as well just kill me. Then I fell into a deep sleep, exhausted and dizzy. When I regained consciousness, it was sunset. There's only Mark and I in the ward. There was no expression on his stern face. The whole person is like a sculpture shrouded in the afterglow of the sunset. Appears sacred and inviolable. Nancy. You want to die. He said with a firm tone that I couldn't refute. I'm done. The effect is counterproductive. Don't think you'll be free when you die. These accounts have not been settled yet. From now on, I want you to be my personal secretary. I have to keep an eye on you. Don't play tricks under my nose. As for death. Mark paused, looking out the window at the fading sun. Don't even think about it. Even if I'm tired of playing, I'll handle you. Your life no longer belongs to you. Very strange. Why did Mark turn evil so quickly this time? Why is it that the harder I try, the more counterproductive it becomes? Could it be that my soft-boiled egg speech disgusted him? My brother is so domineering. I said coquettishly. I tried to blend in a little bit of him through dense earthy love words. I just took an X-ray. The doctor said that I miss you to the bone marrow. Mark's face was filled with a hint of annoyance. Hearing this, it was as if I was dyed red by the setting sun. The blush deepens on the fair skin. I pursue the victory. I heard it will rain tomorrow. I paused on purpose. She glanced at him secretly and continued. But as long as you let me stay with you. It's a unique sunny day. Mark seems to be down. His blush spread rapidly. Very beautiful. I approached him intentionally. Seduce him. Mark, the boss. Since you gave me the opportunity to spend time with you, then I must make good use of it. Mark swallowed. Retreat half a step back. Stay with me. It just reminds me of the hatred. Remember. You are the daughter of my enemy. His eyes swept across my expectant face. Don't dare to stay. He is trying to persuade himself to think about the hatred again and again. In other words, he started to have me in his heart. Not bad. We started to pull. After recovery, I wore a man-killing scent, 8 centimeters high heels, and a Chanel couture short hip-wrapped professional skirt, and proudly stepped into the CEO's office on the 88th floor of Group A. Once in the office, Mark, wearing gold-rimmed glasses, stepped away from the heavy documents and looked up at me. The first time I saw him working seriously. The cold appearance makes it look particularly reliable. He said coldly, "You wear this to work. This is the professional attire I prepared for you. Turn left when leaving the house. Change it for me." After saying, he threw a bag of clothes at my feet. I smiled and bent down to pick up the clothes. Find a perfect angle to show off your plump career line. Mark, the boss. There is a saying that women will act like a spoiled child. Men's souls will float. You can also benefit from it here. He seems to have done enough psychological preparation. Some immunity. Tap the table with your fingers. Clouds and breezes. Why do you think I would be interested in a woman I've played with a few times again just based on these sweet words? Good. Very venomous. Previous life. I would make a scene for a long time when I heard these cold words. This time, I understand his duplicity. Swinging. Mark, the boss. What makes you think I care if you're interested in me? Is it possible that I just think you're doing well? After saying, I calmly opened the door and went out. I decided to fight fire with fire. Behind me now. The glass was smashed to pieces by Mark. He is fighting back. I firmly believe. The tug of war between men and women. Pay attention to one step forward and one step back. If I push him too hard, it is easy to collapse. Since sweet words are temporarily ineffective, then I'll change my strategy. After changing into the professional suit he prepared for me, I tied my hair into a neat low ponytail. Take a deep breath. Stepping into the president's office again. Mark's hand was stabbed by glass. I pretended to be concerned and went forward to bandage him. He saw me preparing to bandage him. Some surprise and resistance. Don't move. The wounds are almost healed. I said something lightheartedly with a serious face. He chuckled. Shakes his head. Let me manipulate him. You say? Why can't I see through you anymore? How could Nancy, who had never touched women's clothes, bandage my wounds? Why haven't you lost your temper with me recently because your father went to jail? He said lightly. I know. My father really is sorry for you. He has to take responsibility for his mistakes. I also know that you have tried your best to balance revenge and protecting me. I replied. The movements of the hands are still gentle and careful. We can't go back to the past, right? Look. Your father killed my father. I sent your father to prison myself. Isn't there a little too much distance between us? Not to mention what I did to you when I was drunk that day. But you didn't hurt innocent people. And you also know that I have always loved you. Although what happened when I was drunk was not what I wanted. But you know what? You have always been the best brother, Mark, in my heart. He couldn't help but smile bitterly. Mark. You haven't called me that in a long time. During this period. You teased me intentionally or unintentionally for revenge, right? I fell in love with you. You don't need to put any effort into this matter. Because. Why? I saw him hesitate. He asked quickly. Because I've always loved you. Mark said seriously, word by word. I raised my hand and touched his head. Make sure he doesn't have a fever. Looking at him doubtfully. It turns out that the misunderstanding between us is so easy to resolve. I flirted with you not for revenge but because I really loved you all along. I quickly corrected. I'll take you to a place. Mark said to me seriously. We were speechless all the way. His bodyguard drove the car very fast. The car has been driving for 2 hours. We arrived at the suburbs of City A. In the distance stands a majestic, abandoned castle. Mark held my hand and walked quickly. I gradually feel a little tired. After cursing Mark tens of thousands of times in my heart. We entered the castle. Even though the sun is blazing. But I still felt a chill as soon as I came in. I couldn't help but sneeze loudly. From the corner of my eye, I saw someone handing me a cashmere blanket. I leaned into his arms. Softly said, baby. I know you can't bear to see me sick. Ms. Nancy, this is the blanket that Boss Mark asked me to hand you. I'm waiting for Boss Mark outside. The black-clad bodyguard who handed me the blanket stammered as he explained. Then he retreated with his excellent ability to read people's expressions. Mark and I are left alone. Ms. Nancy. Are you so confident that I will fall in love with the daughter of my enemy again? Or do you think that if you sleep with me you will be my woman? Mark looked upset. I think. You know the difference between my woman and my pet? He stood up and pressed me closer. For a moment I didn't know whether to be ashamed or annoyed. Mark's words are so heartbreaking. This may be the influence of the mysterious person's so-called novel setting. I thought about how he misunderstood me time and time again in his previous life. I didn't find out in time, so the misunderstanding got deeper and deeper, and it was hard to fix it. Choose 100. This time. I must break through the setting. Survive with Mark and Mother. Go see this beautiful new world. Before I can fully digest these emotions. Then I put on a smile that I thought was very beautiful. I continue to act coquettishly. Baby. I know you say these things because you are jealous, but the fact that you are jealous just shows that I am in your heart. You just said you love me. You probably forgot. So? Mark, you might as well look into my eyes. You want to hurt me with these hurtful words. Or bow down and kiss me. Without waiting for his reaction. I stood on tiptoe and kissed her gently. At first he seemed unresponsive. Wait until the reaction comes. My lips can't help but explore my mouth. After the close relationship. He slowed down his tone. Nancy. Stop it. Look. We haven't been to this castle for 10 years. A moment. I remembered a lot. Peace and prosperity. For generations living under one roof. Mark is full of laughter and is young, smart and lively. Mark. Let's go catch butterflies together. Mark. I don't want to go home. I want to go to school with you and let Ethan take us there. Mark. Why are you ignoring me? Don't shake my hand off. Mark. You don't need to work here anymore. This is my dad's supplementary card. You can use it to brush it. I don't want to see you suffer. Such an innocent and silly girl. Importing the heroine's memory. I looked carefully at the abandoned castle in front of me. The castle is full of seals. There were spider webs everywhere and the lights were almost broken. The dim light reflected is very different from the majestic appearance in my memory. I think. I understand your hatred. Falling in love with the daughter of your enemy means the more you love her, the more guilty you feel. When I was 18, I worked for 2 months. I want to give you a beautiful bracelet. What to do? At that time, I tried my best to buy you a basic model, so I was embarrassed to give you the bracelet in person. Later, I had some savings. Find your favorite designer to make this bracelet. He slowly squatted down, took out a beautiful gift box from his suit pocket, opened it and put it in my pocket. The dazzling brilliance of the gem is not even 1/10 of the glitter of his eyes. I hugged Mark tightly. You were barely 20 that year. Why do you put so much pressure on yourself? Because you will always be my princess. I brought you to this castle to share this joy with my family. I've accomplished my revenge. This also completes the cycle of hatred. I gently stroked his forehead. Don't bear so much alone anymore, idiot. I understand your insincere words many times. Let's fight against everything in the world and embrace each other. Many years later. When I stepped into the president's office with my lunch. Mark was sleeping soundly on the leather sofa by the window. So much so that they didn't even notice I came in. I put the lunch I prepared for him on the table. Curiosity drove me to lean over next to him. I saw myself at different times. In the first photo. Probably when I was 6 years old. Under the long eyelashes are a pair of wet deer eyes. The little girl in the picture is smiling. Wearing a pink princess dress. With cream all over her face, she playfully made a V sign to the camera. In the second photo, I seem to be a little older. I don't know when he took the photo. The white skirt makes her look pure and charming. Nodding leisurely while reading a book. He used my love and sympathy to grow. Eventually sent my father to prison. My mother also died of a sudden illness. Mark and I in my previous life were so awkward. We were clearly going to win. I am feeling. Suddenly, I felt like someone hit me on the head. I looked up and met a pair of scarlet, wet eyes. Did I hurt you that day? Looking into his eyes, my face suddenly turned red. Squeeze out a nice smile and say. Hate. Only from the perspective of an outsider can you see it clearly. He held me tight for a long time without saying a word. I had a dream. In the dream, I was very mean to you and kept you in captivity like a pet. And bullies you like a beast from time to time. Then I saw you were covered in blood, lots of blood. Just like when you had a car accident before, you must be in pain, right? Nancy. It's my fault. Turn out to be. He dreamed of his past life. I patted his shoulder. Comfort. I'm not good either. I always think badly of you. I imitated Xiongde and said. Mark, I'm awesome now. If you have any problems in the future, just look for me, big brother. I can't help you with this big thing. I don't like to help with small matters. But remember to find me if you have any problem. Good. The man in his arms burst out laughing when he heard this. Nancy. Why are you still as childish as when you were little? I naturally rubbed his nose with my hand. Since I laughed out loud. Don't cry anymore. I'll protect you. Time passes slowly, tea tells the cold and warmth. I'm grateful for the chance we had. Let go of those meaningless hatreds. Start over again.